All right, the big news ish. Pretty Ricky reporting. Not anyone else really willing to make it official at this point, but everyone.
Who the hell's Pretty Ricky?
Pretty Ricky, the dog on Twitter, who's broke a ton of news over the course of the offseason. Now, he went into hiding after the Brandon Ayuk saga. And I think after this tweet, he deleted his account actually again and deactivated.
Did he get the Ayuk thing wrong?
He got the Ayuk thing wrong. He thought he was going to get dealt. He had reported to the Steelers for a while. Obviously, that didn't happen. But he's now reporting that it's going to be the Jets. A lot of people saying Davante wants it to be the Jets, trying to force his way to the Jets, that he's going to get traded there.
Quarterback that he knows.
A lot of arrows pointing that way. And it's like, from the Jets' perspective, they have a vested interest. We've seen this offense. We've seen how much they need that second wide receiver. And he's obviously, the rapport he has with Aaron Rodgers, we discussed it on the show yesterday, that like it's invaluable because right now
he'll show up and know exactly where to be and exactly when the ball's going to come out. Aaron doesn't have to explain to him the things that you saw him explaining to Garrett Wilson after dirting the football over the middle.
Well, and it's like any other place, he has to learn a playbook. And now wide receiver versus other things isn't that massive of a deal, but like you don't want to pay as much as you're going to have to pay for a guy like Davante Adams, pay him the money you're going to have to pay him, and then have this learning curve of getting him up to speed.
To get him up to speed.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no learning curve to get him up to speed. He knows exactly what to do with Nathaniel Hackett.
I think the big thing is sight adjustments and pre-snap reads. Like when these receivers that are playing with Rodgers now, when they line up, they may see something in the defense that tells them to be a certain way, but they're not sure that Aaron sees the same thing or vice versa. Now, if you get a guy like Davante there, they know exactly what they're thinking. They've done these things so many times. It will be the right read by Davante. Aaron will be on the same page with him. I think it would be a really cool combination there with Aaron and Davante again.
How far do we think they go? I think this pushes them in the conversation where they could take the Bills down the East. I think it does. We're obviously assuming that this is going to go through. When there's this much smoke, usually there's fire. So we're just going to act like it's going to happen. Now, I think it pushes them in the conversation with the Bills just because they have the offense now. I mean, you could say whatever you want about how poorly you think this offense is schemed up, and I don't think it's doing anything special in terms of making life easy on their quarterback. But when you have Garrett Wilson and Davante Adams, life's easy on your quarterback no matter what routes you're running, right? Like
you're crossing. It's no longer an X's and O's type of win that you're going to be looking at. This is a Jimmy's and Joe's roster. You know, now you get Davante Adams, Garrett Wilson, Allen Lazard with the trust and connection he has with Aaron Rodgers. There's going to be a lot of options for him. And to be quite frank, if they can make this happen, and we think that it could happen very well, this does thrust them to the top, in my opinion. Obviously, you got to go beat Josh on the road, and whatever happens at MetLife happens against the Bills. But I picked them to sweep the AFC East at the beginning of the year. That's what I picked. That was my bold prediction. Is the Jets are going to sweep the AFC East. We've yet to see that happen. So with Davante Adams, it could very well come true.
And we'll see. I think honestly the bigger issues with them are run defense.